Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Level Up Lando, the show that takes you inside the struggles, the trials, the tribulations, and the occasional success. That's the everyday challenge of my life as I pursue my never ending effort of trying to level up. I am your host, Landon Like a Plane, and I'm coming to you from lovely Aspen, Colorado. Today is Wednesday, December 31st at 1:34 p.m. 2025, end of the year. 2026 is tomorrow. So, new year, and I am excited about that. I think last time we checked in was around Christmas, and things are going tough. I was doing pretty well for a minute there, and at the current moment, I'm not doing so well, but I also feel like I'm killing it. And that is how I define killing it. Killing it is when you're doing well despite not doing well. I guess as they like to say, it's easy to do well when things are going good. That's it's easy to feel good. It's easy to keep your habits and stay on track when everything that you're doing is working and you're getting that positive feedback from the universe and the world to let you know, keep doing this. It's a completely different thing when the world is falling down around you and you are just trying to keep your head above water to survive. And in that moment, to then still stay the course, make good decisions, continue to create actions that are getting you to where you want to go in spite of the adversity. To me, that's what killing it is. And in that way, that's what I'm doing. It dawned on me a little while ago that despite not having enough money and worrying about how I'm going to pay my rent at this particular moment, I can control a few set of things. And the main thing that I can control is myself and my own actions. And so I'm coming to you right now. It's the middle of the day on a Wednesday. We've got no snow this winter. This is the worst season I've seen, and I think it's the worst season in like 70 years. So mountains are terrible. I don't have a ski pass yet. It's part of what's making my world fall down around me. Is I was supposed to have this all sorted out by October. I've been looking for a job since October, and I just cannot get a job. Not one that'll give me a ski pass. And so, I continue to try. And despite all my effort, which generally speaking, I'm pretty good at making what I need to have happen. And so, despite all my effort, I just have not been able to get a job yet. So I don't have a ski pass, and in that way, I did shell out some of the little money that I had to buy a gym membership. So I have been going to the gym, and I love it. I created a new 100-day goal, which was to swim 100 days, and today was day 19. And so we're getting to within 80, and I think I've been swimming, I had like 27 days to swim total or something. So 19 out of 27 is not terrible. And it's got me going up to the gym. I get to ride the bike because there's no snow. The bike path is all cleared. So I rode the bike in the snow not too long ago, and I almost laid it down. It's an e-bike, so the back tire has a motor in it, and when it kicks in, if you're on ice, it's just like wah, 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 it starts fishtailing, and got real sketchy. I saved it. I stood up and like was sliding on the ice, holding the bike up while we were sliding sideways, which is why I think I nicknamed my bike Slidey or maybe Slider. And so my other buddy Jody's bike I nicknamed Scooby because he takes it to smoke doobies. So he rides it all over Denver smoking doobies. And so his bike Scooby, my bike Slidey or Slider because I nailed this slide. I was riding, the bike kicked out. I landed on my feet and was just like on the ice and like holding the bike up. And then like right when we got to the end of the ice, I ran it out and like got back on the bike and kept going. But it was awesome. I could have laid it down and it would have been really bad news, but I didn't. So riding the bike up to the gym, getting my swimming in, and what's cool about having swimming as a goal is a lot of times I don't want to go like lift weight or work out, which is silly because I'm already at the gym, so I should go do that every time. But a lot of time I don't want to. And so in that on those times, I'll just go to the steam room in the sauna and then I get so like hot that to swim in the pool feels good. That's kind of how I cool down. That's why I created it as the goal. And so to swim 5 laps, it takes me 5 minutes. So it's an easy goal to kind of check off the list, but it gets me up to the gym, it gets me into the sauna, it gets me moving. And then on the other times, I do go lift. Like today, I went and lifted, and I'm just feeling really good about like my physical state. And then I find myself saying these mantras that I came up with when I was running. But there's a water slide at the rec center, and I use it as like a manifestation water slide. And so before I go down it, I do a bunch of mantras. And one of the things that I found myself saying is, I am blessed, I am worthy, and I expect good things to happen. And as I'm like repeating that, it's cool. And then I'll go down the slide and like let the waters of good things happening wash all over me. And then I go into a pool that is a full pool of water of good things happening. So I try to like douse myself in good things happening, or whatever the mantra is. Allowing abundance to come into my life, whatever I'm saying. So feeling particularly good despite I don't have a ski pass. I just finished with a client and I don't have really any income. I'm trying to create another client, although I might have just found two. But this is the game. Like I need to get far enough ahead so that I don't have to worry about these downtimes where I'm trying to find work. Because once I find it, I'll have enough money. But in the meantime, I've been applying to all kinds of jobs, and I get this weird feeling when I go in. Like I'll go into like just get like a retail job, working as a cashier to, whatever, Aviator Nation or whatever. And when I go in there to just inquire about it, I get this feeling of I don't want to work here. I don't want to do this. And so I recently found a job where it's for a Frias Properties, which is a real estate property management company here. And oh, here, let's check this out. Boom, Frias. They manage a bunch of properties here in Aspen, and they needed a online travel agent. And I've actually been a travel agent previously in my life, and obviously I love travel as well as I would get to go experience these houses, and so I would get more intimate knowledge of the real estate market here in Aspen, which is I work parallel alongside it as a videographer. So I applied for that job, and yesterday I talked with one of the ladies there. And while it's the holidays, they're not doing any hiring. But once we get through the holidays, they're going to potentially have me come in. And I mentioned that I'm a videographer and that I do marketing for houses. And she's like, "We might need some help marketing." So that might be one of the clients that I've got, and we'll see. It might be a really interesting situation, but they pay like a base salary of 70 grand. So I could potentially do that job and then maybe like on the side work my business and charge them to go do create video content for their rental properties and kind of double dip. So that could be a good situation, and I think it comes with a ski pass. So we'll see what happens. That's going to be next week. But basically, this entire month, I just kind of that I was like, okay, there's much that I can do other than to try to maximize every day. And sometimes maximizing the day look like not doing anything and just enjoying not doing anything. Although there's very few days like that. Most days I'm pushing the ball forward. So in that way, let's take a look at this little green book of accountability, because I know that I got some stuff that I get to check off, and crossing stuff off and giving myself a pat on the back and leveling up is what this show and my life are all about. And so it might seem like a trivial thing that I'm just writing these lists down all the time. But then when you get to go back and cross stuff off, it's not so trivial because there's accomplishment, there's achievement and forward progress. So let us take a look at the lists. So we're going all the way back to 12/19. See, that's the other thing I like, is you get to see how the year shaped out. So today's 12/31, end of the year. All right, I'm just gonna fire off some stuff that I got to do. So we got to keep getting my taxes for my business done, and a profit and loss statement, which I actually already have that stuff. I just got to have a conversation with my accountant and get it all lined up, because a business's taxes run from like Q1 to Q4, and that ends kind of the 31st. Edit. There's a bunch of stuff I can edit. and practice, which I should. The gym, I went to the gym, see? And that every time I cross on, I'm like, yay, level up Landon. Town, Gorsuch, James Pierce, I did that. That's a negative. Yay, Landon. They didn't want to hire me. They already hired somebody else. Drone, set up and fly. I did that. Yay, Landon. Good job. Website, I still need to do that. Business license, I still need to do that. That was due today. And drone license. Oh, logo and business cards. That's the big one. That's the pat on the back. Enjoy feeling accomplished. And then we're going to go ahead and pat ourselves on the back again. Yay, Landon. So this has been something that I've been meaning to do for, I don't know, over a year, I guess. If I went back into the yellow book, I bet you we could find some pretty long time ago lists that include update your business card with a new logo and get new business cards, because I've got these other ones that my parents made me, which are funny. I think they're hilarious. If your parents ever make you business cards, they they list all your accomplishments like they're a proud parent and you're their child, and it's very endearing to me that that's how they see me, as far as I've been giving them out because I don't have another card. And that was for my other, like, long time ago attempt at business when I was also, I'm still doing it all, but like it's when I was more of a speaker. And in that way, I got new business cards. I updated the logo and got them onto the cards and ordered them. So they should be coming January 8th. So that's, we're going to go ahead and give ourselves one more really solid pat on the back. That's a big one. Like, it's funny that there's these little, you know, tasks that have to get done that a lot of the time are easy to do, but then they just keep getting put on the list every single time and never get accomplished. And so when you finally do something that was relatively easy to get done, it just really, it feels really good. So I'm feeling pretty proud of myself for that. Let's see here. What else? Okay, now we're moving on to 1227. A new bank account. So I actually did that as well. I'm getting ready to try to figure out how to automate my money and make my money work for me instead of me working for it. And in that way, the bank that I have here, Alpine Bank, doesn't do, they're like dated. They don't have like sub accounts and I can't automate stuff. And so I'm going to change it over, I think, to Schwab. So I linked my Schwab bank account to, as that's going to be my new business account, which is awesome. So I actually did that. So we'll do now, and then I got to create the sub accounts for the bank account. Oh, I gotta transfer some memory. I gotta go through that and check it all out. And testimonials. Those two. Not too bad. That list isn't too long. There's some. Oh, and the other thing that just life is, because I've had all this time, my apartment is so clean. I finally have got it to where I want. I would say it's at 98%. I'm this close to having it be 100% dialed in, and that's largely just the drone stuff. I've got all the clutter's put away, all the clutter's gone, and I've got a table out there that has all of my drone and camera equipment on it, and I got to figure out a way to like organize that or create little like holders for it so that I can charge it all. Because I did recently get a 5-way charger that has really cleaned up a lot of like the wires and stuff like that, and it's amazing how just like the right organizational tools really make everything neater. And that for so long I don't have that kind of stuff because I can't afford it. I can't even afford like the little container to hold the thing to make it neat. Yeah. So anyway, now I can, or at least I have recently, and just that one little thing, a little it's like a power surge, but it plugs into the wall. Just cleaned up all my charging station essentially. So it's really nice to wake up every day and have my apartment be just like 100%. It's not quite there. I got a little bit of clutter left. I got a little of this, but it's much better than this is the closest it's ever been to having it be exactly the way that I want it. Which once I get it there, hopefully I'll start making enough money to replace some of the furniture and get, because a lot of this stuff is just like used and secondhand, and it'd be really nice to get my apartment dialed in and then replace and upgrade the quality of the living experience in it by, upgrading the furniture. So if I get that job with Freest Properties, that could be a really cool angle. I could make, 70, 75 grand a year and then just continue to work on the business through the side. And that might be a really great situation. So that all happened yesterday. So since yesterday, I've kind of like started to feel a little bit more optimistic about what's coming up this next week. And in that way, I can relax a little about the days between now and, like, let's just say January 7th or 8th when rent is due. So, yeah, on that note, I think I've committed to trying to go sober at the new year for as long as I can. I don't know how long that'll be, but I think I've done it at least a month, and so we're gonna go at least a month, and then we'll take it from there. But I got Fish at the Sphere in May, and so that will probably be when I stop being sober, but not for very long. I plan to go right back on it. I'm gonna try and do it for a year. I figure if I if I'm straight sober for a whole year, let's see what that'll do to my business and my life, and if that happens to be working pretty good, maybe I'll just stay that way. I like to party, I like to do drugs, but um, I've also been doing them for 25 years. And now it's interesting how having my own business, I care more about that than I do about like getting high. And so I'm just wondering to myself, like, what would happen if you just tried to be sober for a whole year? And because I've noticed that a lot of my progress is happening in my like boredom and in my downtime is when I'm actually um, driven to then go accomplish, like setting up the bank account, for example, or ordering the business cards. Those things are happening in this sort of like, I don't know what to do. I need a client, but I don't have one. I need income, but I don't have one. I need to continue to make the business go forward, but I don't know how. And so let's just invent stuff. Okay, I could do the business cards. Okay, I can go hunting for clients and reaching out to places. And it's like I haven't gotten one, but I can still put in that effort. And so it's in that like sort of like stillness where I start to just create action because that's the only thing I know to do. I don't have a clear direction of this. I should do this, this, and this. So I'm just making stuff up, and but it works. So it's like, okay, cool, yay, Landon. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the old Daily Stoic. Before we jump into it, I like to let you into my state of mind because most of the time when I'm reading the Daily Stoic, I'm trying to reframe my mind. It's usually because I'm in a bad place and reading whatever lesson, Ryan Holiday is, explaining to me that particular day helps me to, in just a few moments, completely reframe my whole situation so that I can kind of attempt to be productive through distress, essentially. So in that way, it's amazing how if you just change your mind about the situation, the whole situation changes. So, really like the Daily Stoic. 366 Meditations on Wisdom, Perseverance, and the Art of Living by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman. What's cool about this book is that it's a yearly book. And so today's the last day of the year. Happy New Year, everybody. And we'll just start it over again, which is cool. And you kind of forget the lessons even if you've already read it every single day. So we're going to jump into it, but before we do, I like to let you into my mind. And in that way, we'll circle back to the beginning of the episode where mentally I'm doing really well. Mentally, I am feeling accomplished and dedicated and driven, and also experiencing some of the result of consistent action and behavior, even if it's just something like swimming 5 laps at the pool. I'm not even talking about the business, but like I'm starting to see my arms and my chest is developed, and it's just cool to kind of see how making certain decisions have shaped my life and for the better, and that they're not easy to do, but as I continue to do them despite that, I'm actually now far enough along that I can see some of the positive result, both physically but really mentally and emotionally. So in that way, things are really hard, uh, like in reality, but internally, I'm at peace. Internally, I have this understanding of I'm not worried for myself at all, and I'm not worried that I'll be able to figure it out. It's just I've I'm over having to try to figure it out. The reason I'm not worried is I've done this so many times before, and I feel like I should be past it, and I'm not. And so in that way, I'm very accepting of my situation as I continue to try to change it. I'm allowing for it to be what it is, which a lot of the time I'm resisting it. And when I resist it is when I suffer. And in this particular stretch of time, I just dedicated myself to, if I don't have a client and I don't have an income, I can at least still maximize my day and make the most of it, whether it's reading, playing guitar, going to the gym, socializing. And I've been doing all of that. And it really feels good. It feels like I'm living into my potential. So internally, I'm feeling really good, despite externally, things are concerning, and there's a lot that could potentially trigger anxiety. And so I'm really proud of myself because despite having, you know, a relatively difficult reality, I'm doing good. I'm powering through it, and not only that, I would go as far as to say I'm thriving. I'm thriving in the chaos. And that to me is I just a real tell of where I'm at personally, and like that I'm not going to be here much longer, that I'm on the point of breaking past this and never having to go back to like poverty or wondering if I'm going to figure out how to pay rent. And I'm like right there. And once I get there, I'm excited to be able to help more than just myself. And so that's why it's important to me. Like I'm tired of trying to just take care of me. I can't even do that. And now I'm this close to being able to. And so once I get there, then it'll be nice to be able to help other people. I like other people. Life's hard. And it's nice when somebody's kind to you and helps you out and pays your medical bills or your rent or tips you really well. Like it's nice when people who have the means to help. And I'm not saying that everybody has to, but I'm just saying I want to be one of them. So that's my goal. That's what I'm working towards. And yeah, maybe this job will be the one. I don't know. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Between now and then, let's take a look. December 31st. Get active in your own rescue. Oh my God. This is why I freaking love this book. Like, are you kidding me? Get active. Was I literally not just explaining that? Like, I didn't term it that way, but yes, this is exactly, I am being active in my own rescue. What else do you have to say, Ryan Holiday? December 31st, get active in your own rescue. Stop wandering about. You aren't likely to read your own notebooks or ancient histories or the anthologies you've collected to enjoy in your old age. Get busy with life's purpose. Toss aside empty hopes. Get active in your own rescue. If you care for yourself at all, and do it while you can. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations 3.14. The purpose of all our reading and studying, pursuit of the good life. At some point, we must put our books aside and take action, so that, as Seneca put it, the words become works. There is an old saying that a scholar made is a soldier spoiled. We want to be both scholars and soldiers, soldiers in the good fight. That's what's next for you. Move forward, move onward. Another book isn't the answer. The right choices and decisions are. Who knows how much time you have left or what awaits us tomorrow? Well, you see, it's interesting because you get the first part and then you get Ryan's explanation or like Ryan's like addition to it. And so, in that way, I really like the first part. And then in the second part, when he was talking about, um, like I forget what he was saying. He says, another book isn't the answer. The right choices and decisions are. Well, that reminded me of when I was on my mantra slide, my manifestation slide earlier at the gym today. I was one of the mantras that I was saying was allow, because it's the new year, and I was like, allow for me to continue to embrace the habits that are helping me to get to where I want to go, and shed myself of habits that are holding me back from getting to where I want to go. And that's the reason I was saying that is I am actually embodying that. I am the living work of trying to embrace habits and choices and decisions that are helping further me to grow myself into the kind of person that can manage the kind of money that I'm envisioning myself having, and free me from the person that I was and currently am, which is the kind of person that can't manage that kind of money, clearly. Otherwise, I would have it. So as I continue to try to grow myself into that person, that's what I was considering when I was like, maybe I'll go sober for a year and just let's just see what happens. And if I get rich and I decide I want to go party again, I can party again. But why not? Like, I've got nothing to lose. I've been getting stoned pretty much all day, every day for 25 years. So, what if I just stop? And let's see what happens then. So, and that's really the last thing kind of holding me back. So, and it's not too hard. I've been only smoking at night. And so it's like, okay, to go from just smoking at night to how about not at all? And then to use that downtime to try to, like, instead of sitting in front of the TV, press the business forward. Because there's lots of time that I have to do that I'm not doing it. So I figure maybe sober Landon will get it done. I don't know. We're gonna find out. We're gonna make a run at it, and that all starts tomorrow. So between now and tomorrow, I'm allowing myself to have a few drinks tonight and have a smoke and party on, Wayne. So check this out. If you watch these episodes and you like these episodes, boom, you can use that QR code right there to donate to the show. And so any money, it's community supported, any money that I get will help to further create more show and enhance the production of the show. And I'm trying to create a live stream next where I'll have a chat area and you guys can comment and we can have a back and forth. And in that way, I'll be able to ask for suggestions of what you want from the show. I just saw that the Aspen Daily News is being sold to a media conglomerate, which is what happened with the Aspen Times. And I've been trying to find my own little niche to provide local Aspen insight. And I'm thinking maybe there might be a window for my podcast to fill some of the local news need. So if you like the show and you want to see more and you want to help influence what I'm going to be talking about or what the show is about, donate. Beep. I think it's just really cool that I figured out how to make that thing. So, anyways, that will kind of do it for the show today. Man, it's a rough winter out there, but end of the year, 2026 is right here. My family has some exciting things happening, and I'm looking forward to 2026 as a year in itself. I'm hoping that that'll be another year in breaking through and leveling up and hopefully making money. Let's get some money flowing into my life so that I don't have to worry so much about uh, how to pay rent. Once I don't have to worry about that, I'll be able to help. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to start a nonprofit. It's called Aspen Cares. And that right now, this is going to me, but soon I'll put one up that it'll be Aspen Cares and you'll be able to donate. And Aspen Cares is going to be a nonprofit that has like community parties and goes out to dinner in town and tips like rent or 100% of the bill and helps to feed the homeless and is involved with music and a bunch of other community oriented activities that will allow for locals here in Aspen and then all the way even down to like Rifle to benefit from how amazing Aspen is and some of the wealth that's here in the form of giving it to me, and then I will make sure to distribute it to the town and to the right people. And in that way, Aspen cares. So, and then I think it'll be cool to, like, for every 10 people or something I help in Aspen, we'll go and help somebody in Carbondale or Basalt or Rifle or even anywhere. I don't know. I'm not limiting it. I'm just saying I have a vision to try to contribute to my community and to try to help alleviate some of life's suffering because I know what that's all about. And so I'm hoping that, you guys have a great, happy new year. And I'll see you guys in 2026. I'm your host, landing like a plane, and I'm taking off.